As we continue with more methods of asexual reproduction, let us come to budding. So first we shall see budding in case of yeast. The most common ingredient in the kitchen of a baker is yeast, which is a unicellular fungus, and it reproduces by budding. Let us understand this method of budding in case of yeast. The figure that you see on top is the microscopic view of yeast cells. So you can see a number of single cells, and many of these cells have an outgrowth which is called as bud. This is how the yeast reproduces. First, a cytoplasmic outgrowth appears, then the nucleus of the parent cell divides and one of the nucleus moves into the bud. A constriction appears and cuts the cytoplasm of the bud from that of the parent. This is the newly formed bud, which may remain attached to the parent cell, or after some time it may detach and become independent as a new organism. After budding, that is in case of a unicellular organism, let us see how budding takes place in a multicellular organism such as Hydra. Hydra lives in fresh water, and when conditions are favorable, an adult Hydra produces a new bud which initially remains attached to the parent. The bud develops as an outgrowth due to repeated cell divisions at a specific site. Okay, so this is the difference. There is a particular region where the bud is going to develop. These buds gradually they grow and develop into tiny individuals, and when they are fully mature, they detach from the parent body and become as new independent individuals. Let us move on to the next method of asexual reproduction, which is spore formation. We all have seen the growth of fungus on fruits and vegetables or bread or chapati that has been kept outside the refrigerator. We always wondered what it was and where did it come from. To understand this, let us examine the fungus which is commonly called as the bread mold, because generally it grows on carbohydrate substrate. And when we see it under the microscope, it appears like the figure that is shown on top. So in the figure you can see it has many filamentous structures that are called hyphae. Singular is hypha. And at certain places you can see there are root-like structures which have grown into the food substratum. So these, like the roots, they absorb nutrition from the starchy food material for the growth of these fungi. And these structures are called rhizoids. After growing for some time, now this structure starts developing vertical hyphae, which are called sporangiophore. And on top of each of the sporangiophore, you can see a swollen knob-like structure which is called sporangium. Inside the sporangium are the seeds of the fungus that are called spores. And these spores are similar to the seeds of the plants. Spores are single-celled reproductive units which are produced by the fungi, and they are resistant to adverse environmental conditions because they have a well-developed cyst around themselves, and because of this cyst they can withstand extreme heat or extreme cold. Another advantage of reproducing through spore formation is at one time hundreds or thousands of spores may be formed, and on return of favorable conditions, when the cyst bursts, large number of organisms or the spores they are released. These spores then fall on new food materials, and in presence of moisture, once again they germinate and grow into new structures. But if the food material is dry, then the spores cannot germinate into a new body. So in order to germinate, moisture is absolutely necessary. So thus we see how the fungal spores, they germinate and spoil various food items.